Yo, 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 good people. It's your homie HerbMan. Listen, you back upside of here. Another hot banger. Look, please go tell somebody, Your homie HerbMan is on. And if you're new to the program, welcome, welcome, welcome. Please follow, like, share, and subscribe on all the platforms at Love HerbMan. All right, we are live from South Africa. We're live on TikTok. We're live on YouTube. You guys, please go follow, share, like, and subscribe on all of those platforms so that you can be notified every time HerbMan comes on to these particular platforms. All right. So I am your neighborhood holistic practitioner. I'm your homie HerbMan. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the HerbMan Show. All we do here is simply teach people how to heal themselves, and you cannot heal yourself if you do not know thyself. So we teach people about the human frame and the human design so that they can be well on their way to happiness, wholeness, and wellness. All right. So this is a free information station, you guys. This is free information station. All this information is free. All you got to do is pay attention to how you do that is double tap that screen. Let's get us up to 100,000 likes, 100K doing the live. All right. And to get us started, we want to get to 1,000 likes. Get right into the subject matter at hand. All right. So I am the one and only, the true and beloved. I am the one you've been supporting, the one you've been trying to travel to come see. I'm your homie HerbMan, man, and we appreciate all of the love that you've been given. Look, love is the major ingredient in everything that we do here at HerbMan Inc. Okay, never want you to underestimate that particular ingredient, and underestimate how important, how imperative your love shown back truly is to what we make in our products, right? Your love given is love being given back, and that's in your products, okay? And that's not only in the products, that's also in the program. That's also in the herbal blends for different type of decoctions that we make for you. That's in the tinctures that we make. That's in the detoxes and the herb mosses and the sea moss blends that we make. But but more than all of that, the love ingredient is in the research. It's in the countless of hours of study, watching videos, reading articles, and being sensitive to the spiritual realm so that you can be driven a certain way in order to gain more new information, right? And that is going to be the biggest, I would say, encouragement, biggest drive, biggest inspiration of all that your love gives us. And that love deeper to make sure that you're getting the proper information that you need. Remember, you guys, it's not about the information, it's about the application. Okay. In order for you to be wise, you can listen to anything, you can download anything, you can accumulate all kinds of knowledge, but you would just be a hoarder of knowledge if you don't apply it to gain wisdom. So it is not in the information getting, but more in the application of, right? And once you start to apply a thing, regardless of who you learned it from, who you read it from, or who you heard it from, regardless of all of that, if you apply, you will then have the wisdom to know if that thing is feasible for you, me, or anybody else that comes in that pathway. Remember that out of your ignorance, you create industry. Out of your ignorance, you create industry. What we try to do here is eradicate the ignorance. Okay? We try to put your health back into your own hands. You cannot heal yourself unless you know thyself. So we teach you here about the owner's manual. The owner's manual serves as a guide for you so that you can get the best optimal performance out of your body, out of this life experience. You can get the longevity, and also you can get the optimal usage out of all of the tools and the accessories that you have at your disposal while you're being here in this particular earth experience. So I want you to understand that there are so many things, there's so many layers to you, there's so many things that you haven't even opened up. There's so many buttons that you haven't pushed in your space suit. So now it is time to start to learn thyself more and more and more. So anytime that you hear HerbMan, see the logo, understand quality not only from a production of products, but also quality from a researchable standpoint to learn and teach those people how to put their health back into their own hands. That's what you're seeing. That's what you're learning here on the HerbMan Show, and that's what you're getting in any kind of thing that you get from HerbMan Inc. All right, and don't worry about that. You remember I told you guys the best food you ever ate for most of us. Now I ain't gonna say all of us, because some of y'all mamas can't cook. But the best food you ever made, ate came from mama. And that meal was always free for the most part. So don't get caught up in it got to cost $1,000, $1,000,000. It got to cost this and cost that in order for you to think that that means quality. They're tricking you with cost, meaning quality. What I'm trying to get you to see is that the best meal you ever had was free. So don't underestimate quality coming into the form of freedom, coming into the form of a free mind, coming into the form of $50, coming into the form of it being accessible, coming into the form of it being for you, for the least of us, coming into the form of it being discounted, coming into the form of it being anybody can get it, coming into the form of it being accessible. Don't ever underestimate the effectiveness of an accessible thing. So just because Mama Meal is free, it's backed for high quality, and just because the owner's manual is for your little funky measly $50, you'll never underestimate the effectiveness of such a program as this. What this program does, it gets you back in tune with nature. What we have quantified, what we have qualified within the last few days, we'll give you factual scientific studies how nature-based interventions up the ante on the health processes of individuals going through those things and 3 or 4 parameters when it deals with disease. What are those 3 or 4 parameters? Well, we just uncovered that scientifically it's been studied that nature-based interventions heighten the physical healing, rejuvenation by what? By 80 something percent. The cognitive health, 75%. The mental health, 93%. Okay. So going back to nature, we just uncovered to you factually, scientifically based that they work. Period. That they work. That's what we just uncovered to you. Okay. That these things work. Now, it's all about what you do and how you do, but just the sheer exposure to nature in their studies did a thing. Just the sheer exposure to rain, to snow, to a river, to a lake, to a creek, to an ocean, just the sheer exposure to the mountain, to mountain air, to all these things starting to make a difference in people's life. Just at the sheer exposure. So we understand these things work. Now, what we're trying to do now is we're asking the question of now that you got factual evidence that nature works, now that you understand a little bit more in depth about what the owner's manual does, which is trying to get you back into tune with nature, understanding that now scientifically we know that nature works when it comes to our cognitive, mental, and physical health. So now the owner's manual is going to have fact-based science behind it to say, hey, look, being exposed to your natural balancing act and the natural resources will have an effect on your cognitive health, mental health, and physical health. What this means cognitive, ADHD, ADD, autism, dementia, Alzheimer's, Parkinson's disease. What it means by mental health, the same things plus a little deeper. A bipolar, a schizophrenia. Uh, 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 now we're talking about dog. I had it right at the tip of my tongue right there. But you got all of these different things that now you're saying that a little bit of nature can go a long way. They've already scientifically proven to you that a person just looking at nature can start to recover faster, take less medication, all by the viewing of nature from the hospital bed. So we already know that nature-based interventions work. The owner's manual is a nature-based intervention that is scientifically using numbers, which is your birthday, to tell and tally a particular assessment for that individual born at that day and time. Now, also, what is very unique about this particular situation is that this owner's manual is going to serve as a guide because it's throwing out not only the food that that person who was born under that particular date should eat, but also the herb that that person should take, also the spiritual tendencies that that person should be aware of. Also, the physical tendencies that that person should be aware of. All for funky measly $50 coming to your owner's manual. On top of that, you get the system as a guide to track you around this ecliptic of the sun so that you'll know where you at, what lessons that you're going through, so that you can be more prepared for the ups and downs and the ebbs and flows of life. Now, the biggest thing about today, when I ask you the question of what is next for you, is now that you understand that there's a nature-based intervention, now that you understand the effectiveness of nature, now that you get coming on the HerbMan show for 3, 4, 5 months, 2 years, some of y'all been with me ever since I've been on social media. But now that you are here, what are you going to do next? Now that you know that herbs work, now that you know that the right foods work for you, now that you know that medications and what they do for you or what they do to you, now that you know the ramifications of chemotherapy, of radiation, now that you know the side effects of dialysis, and now that you know the side effects of aspirin and blood pressure medication and metformin and insulin shots and all of these different medications that you've been taking, what is next for you? What is next for you? What's going on, YouTubers? Welcome on in. Welcome to the HerbMan Show, YouTubers. What is next for you? What are you going to do now? What are you ready to do now? We're not telling you to go buy $1,000 a detox system and program. That ain't gonna help. There's not one herb on the planet that'll cure all manner of disease. There's not one panacea in a product, but there is a panacea in a program. And it's to reprogram the body. It's to re-treat the body. It's to reorganize the body so that you can start getting some of these other reads, like rejuvenation and recovery. That's what you're looking for. Okay? But where do you find it at? How do you get it? Okay? So understand one thing. If you don't know what's next for you, then you're still caught up in the matrix. You're still caught in the perplexity of what it is that you want to do. Some people come to me sometimes and be like, well, my mama, my daddy, my uncle, my cousin, my grandma, they ain't chemo, but they still want to do some herbs because we found out that herbs work. We found out that there are some herbs that can help you with breast cancer and ovarian cancer, uterine cancer, prostate cancer, colon cancer. They got all these different issues, but we found out herbs work. But my people them in chemo, but they want to know what they can do. Why would I share a facility with something that we don't believe in? Right? So your body is your temple. Why would I be in your temple with inorganics working alongside organics? It doesn't really work like that. That's why I tell people, if you're going to stay on chemotherapy and radiation, that's fine. If you're going to do their will and their way, that's fine. All you can do over here is some soursop. That's all I give you. But if you want to do other herbs like sheep sorrel, periwinkle, okay, these are some of the most cancer fighting herbs on the planet that y'all don't know nothing about. Sheep sorrel. All right. Periwinkle. Okay. Periwinkle. Okay. Violet leaf. I'll tell my son when I say some of the strongest herbs on the planet, sheep sorrel, periwinkle, violet leaf, mandrake. Okay. So you got stuff for blood cancer. You got stuff for all kinds of different types of cancers. On top of that, yeah, you got you got your little run of the mill. You got your sour sops and you got your red clovers and your cleavers and you got all them little. But these are your monsters, man. These are monsters, and you got to know how to work with them. Okay, you got to know how to work with these herbs in order for you to be able to cure yourself or what it is that you do with. And that's just 4 herbs right there. I could have went on through. There's some more. It's way more than that. But them just my little special 4 that I like to dib and dab with to show you what we're working with when we're talking about herbs. Okay, but you also got herbs like poke root, right? Y'all heard of poke, right? You got herbs like cleaver, okay? These are some of your run of the mill. I call them run of the mill because I call these are your commercial herbs, right? Red clover. I don't even really use red clover. I may go with something like a blue flag, right? Right? I may do something like a blue flag, something that can really move lymph outside of this little menial ass red clover that they've been selling about moving lymph for the last 100 years in the book. So I replace red clover with blue flag, right? Or I may not do a blue flag. I may go with what's my other herb called? Uh, I can't think of the name of it right now. It starts with a W. I can't think of the name of it right now. But I might go with any kind of these different herbs, but I might skip around the commercial herbs. Okay, so that's what I'm trying to get you to see is that the herbs are there, but what are you gonna do next? You see that this stuff works. What are you gonna do? You're gonna keep taking your medication, you're gonna keep going to the doctor, you're gonna keep sitting in the bed hurting, you're gonna keep being on dialysis, you're gonna keep taking your pain medication, all because you don't think that being in nature for some kind of way or understanding nature in this way will help you. And that's the valuability of modern medicine. It wants to keep you in that because it's not specified more appropriately to where you need to be and to what you need to have according to you and your makeup. So it's not specified enough. You got a range that anybody can get in. White man, black man, everybody can get into that range of 80 to 80 to 120 for my blood sugar, 80 to 120 for my blood pressure. Anybody can be in that. But what's specific to me, there are some people who are out of the range of blood pressure readings and still don't got no symptoms. Should they be on blood pressure medications? No. You got people that are out of the range of blood sugar numbers but still ain't got no symptoms. Should they be on blood sugar medications? No. Only a symptom is a identifier of an imbalance. Only a symptom, a pain, a headache, a migraine, a back pain, a knee pain, a tooth pain, any kind of inflammation is the indications of the imbalance. If I ain't got that, I'm straight. I don't necessarily need a whole lot. This thing here in following the path of the sun, you guys, is not just a generalized thing of saying, hey, come over here and buy this purchase. Fuck that. You gotta purchase shit. You're gonna still be sick. There ain't no medication gonna help you. There ain't no herbalist out here that know this information to really go deep down in the halls of wealth. I mean, health like that to you for you to be healthy and wealthy the way that you seek. Because we're not talking to nature. Well, how do you talk to nature? By number. By number, right? So we teach you about the manufacturing date, right? Which is your birthday. Every owner's manual has a manufacturing date. They got a model number. They got all these different things for you to be getting the specifics on that model of particular. And you are no different, my friend, right? So when I say, what do we do next? Well, what's next on the table? The next thing for you to do is starting to understand how to get into nature. Somebody asked me, HerbMan, how do we get into nature? This is not that I got to ask my motherfucking self. All right, am I talking to myself? Or are y'all here? Please keep tapping. I'll keep talking together this up to 100K. If you keep tapping, I'll keep talking this up to 100K. Can somebody please ask me, how do we do it? Huh? Please, somebody ask me, please. Thank you, highest priest. Is there anything to help with withdrawal from opioids? Yes, there's a lot of stuff that you can do both. One of them is you can email me and we can talk a little bit more about some of the herbs, but you got kava kava that might help. You have what was the name of that particular herb that they got out now? It's used for more pain relief. Um, but a lot of naturopathic doctors are starting to use it for pain relieving. But it was actually used for opioid abuse and stuff like that. I got to get the name of it for you because I forgot the name, but it starts with a K. It starts with a K. A lot of people who used to be on pain medication used to take it. It's an actual herb, though, and that may be something that you know. I don't know if I can say that name on TikTok, but if somebody come up with it, not kava kava. Kava kava is a great tea. It can help you as well, especially if you're dealing with alcohol abuse. But yeah, so there it is right there. Salama de God. Salam de God. Okay, that's the name of it. Salam to God, that's the name of it. So if you are wanting a herb that can help you with opioid abuse, doing that, then that's the name. Okay, Kratum. Salam to God. Appreciate you, baby. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Okay. Yeah, they got it in powder. You know what I'm saying? You can get it in all kind of formats. They got the green kratom. They got the white kratom. They got the red kratom. You just figure out which one. Well, it's gonna be in the powder, bro. So just follow the directions from whoever you get it from. You know what I mean? I don't sell it, but follow the directions from whoever you buy from. That's most of the bone pain. I'm gonna say it's gonna be for nerve pain, all right? For nerve pain. Personally, I'm gonna say for nerve pain. But what I'm saying is, it's not the best thing for pain. It's the best thing for those people dealing with opioids, who've been dealing with pain meds for so long. Then yes, it's good for that. If you ain't been like that, if you ain't got no opioid abuse, if you ain't been on a lot of pain meds, then you can just go with some other alternatives like white willow, feverfew, boswellia, Jamaican dogwood. There's a lot of other small. Okay, I answered that person question for them. Okay, for alcoholism, kava kava, LP. Okay, for alcoholism, try kava kava root. All right. So now, how do we get in tune with nature? First of all, you got to understand, how do nature talk? Anybody know how nature speaks? I know you guys been with me for a long time. Some of y'all are new. I appreciate all my new ones. Please stay tuned to the HerbMan Show. Teach you how to hit yourself, all right? But how does nature speak? Does nature speak in English, or does nature speak in frequency? How does nature speak? Does nature speak in English, or does nature speak in frequency? Okay, there you go. God's gift. God's gift. There we go. The highest priestess. There y'all go. Now y'all listen. See, now y'all listen. Okay, so now we can learn. We can teach. But I know my students are listening. We can teach. Okay. Nature learns in frequency. In other words, nature learns in what? Math. Math. A frequency is a wavelength. This is a wavelength, right? So it's measured from top to bottom, and it's measured from width to width, right? So you got wavelength, okay? Now you have small waves, you have large waves, okay? And depending on what you're dealing with will depend on how much information can be carried per wave. All right. So you got radio waves, you got air waves, you got water waves, you got all of the waves, right? But the thing is that you have to learn how to ride the wave. Okay. And you need to know, in order to learn how to ride the wave, you got to know what wave you're in. Now, there are two types of waves. Anybody know the two types of waves? Put it in the chat. Let's talk while I teach you. How what are the two types of waves? So now we know that nature speaks in frequency. We know that it speaks in waves. We know that we need to be able to tune in to the airwaves, to the frequency of nature. Okay? How to ride the wave. Somebody said alpha, delta. Yeah, so you got theta, delta, alpha. I got your theta, beta, all that, right? So we understand that. So now the frequency of nature is 7.8 hertz. We know that in the brain, the theta waves are between 6 and 8 hertz. So that's where your 7.8 will be, is in your theta brain waves. In that particular area of your brain is where meditation, and that's where creativity is bestowed. Okay, we get that. We get all of that. I ain't talking about that. That ain't what I'm asking you about. If I need to go back over that, I will. For you guys that in the back that didn't catch that. But that ain't what we talking about. I'm asking you, there are two types of waves that you got to understand how to ride. There you go, Lolly. There you go, Lolly. There you go. My babies, they're going to come through. My babies are going to come through. Now, long they just sit there and keep listening to me. They know what the hell I'm talking about. I know I'm touching on something. Coming live from South Africa, by the way, as well, you guys. So if you are in South Africa and you need us to come and talk to your people about putting the right times in perspective, how you are out of time, out of season, and how to get back in tune with nature, then come and holler at your homie HerbMan. That's what we're doing. We're selling owner's manuals to get people back in tune with nature. And you can't find the tune on the radio dial if you don't know the frequency. If you don't know if it's AM or FM, if you don't know the channel, when they tell you how to channel God, how to channel the Spirit, how to channel another world, how to get into that other level, then you got to be able to put it on the right channel. And the right channel is to know the wind, the wave, okay? To know the wave. Now, I'm going to show y'all something. I got some receipts today. On YouTube, I'm showing them the moon calendar. You can go to the moon tracks. Okay, you can go to moontracks.com and pull this up. All right. How many of y'all can see this? Okay, you got the waxing, you got the waning, you got the full moon. When does it say the full moon coming, y'all? This is July 2025. When does it say the full moon coming? YouTube, listen to this now. When does it say that the full moon is coming? Anybody can see that. It's right there in the middle of your screen. Einstein theory. Einstein theory. Y'all go follow that. It said it coming on July the 10th, right? Okay, everybody see it. It's coming on July the 10th. YouTube again, we went to moontracks.com and we just pulled up when the next full moon and new moon is. All right, so the full moon is on June 10th. When is the new moon? Go ahead and get that before I erase it off the calendar. Before I get it off my screen, July the 10th is the new moon. Put this on up. July 10th is the full moon. All right, July the 24th, right, is the new moon. Okay, all right. Now let's talk to everybody. That's for my YouTubers that couldn't see that. Let's talk to everybody. Now, if you've been watching me long enough, when is high tide and when is low tide? When is high tide and when is low tide? When is high tide and when is low tide? Is full moon high tide or full moon low tide? Is new moon high tide or is new moon low tide? I'm going to show you how to ride the wave. Always listen that the man is teaching us how to ride the waves, but you got to be able to be in tune, which means he's about to show us how to get in tune with nature. You can be outside of this, but we're going to show you that you're never outside of it. You just got to understand where you are. You are never outside of the paradigm. It's just that you don't know where you are. You don't know if you're in high tide, low tide. You don't know where you are. So you can't capitalize on things. So when you ask for healing, just because you at the church talking about you know Jesus, it don't come. Because you're asking for it out of season. And just because you're a vegan and you don't want to eat no meat, don't mean that you're eating healthy because you could be eating out of season. And just because you could be doing the right things at the wrong time. You out of season. You could be asking for the right thing, but at the wrong time. And you'll be out of season. So this question of what's next is I gotta know how to ride the waves. I gotta know where my wave is at. I gotta know where I'm at. Okay? I gotta know where I'm at. Right? So again, the full moon, is it high tide or low tide? I'm asking. I need for you to know this. All right. The full moon, is it high tide or low tide? Okay. Because I'm going to show you how to ride the wave. Is that high tide or low tide? Uh Dunya's journey. Dunya's journey to wealth. Y'all go follow Dunya's journey to wealth. She said the high, Trump said the high, the lioness, the high, L gross, the high. Everybody know that this is the high, right? So now that means that the next day, you're gonna be in the high tide. Now you gotta know where high tide is here. Okay? Everybody follow me. Put some ones in the chat if you'll follow me. Please Please put some ones in the chat if you're following me. We're going somewhere. Okay. The next day, tomorrow, going to be the high tide. Some of y'all about to hit the lottery and don't even know it. I'm teaching you about health, but I'm also teaching you about wealth. Okay, I'm teaching you how to play the stock market of life, not just the stock market of the stock market, but the stock market of life. How to get those opportunities. If you got a job that's going to be coming tomorrow, if you're applying for a job, if somebody told you they're going to call you this week, if somebody told you something's going to happen, you got to know where your ass at. You'll know where to play, how to play the opportunity. You got to know how to play Connect 4. You got to know how to play Cash Flow and Cash 3. You can't just be in no, this ain't like one moment them just scratching numbers. It's strategy to life. All right, so Bill, we're at the high tide tomorrow. Okay. Now, tide is going to be what? Is when you're at your most spiritual. I'm gonna see if I can write with this black pen you got. It's your spiritual time, right? It's your spiritual time. And high tide is your spiritual time. Right? Low tide is your physical time. Right? Physical time. Everybody get that. High tide is a spiritual time. High tide is a spiritual time. Low tide is your physical time. So one of them you got to rest. Okay. So in other words, rest. You're resting the mind and you're resting the body. And in other words, here is work. Okay. Now, the thing is that July the 10th is giving us the time to do what? Rest. Spiritual. In this resting is your manifestation, is your meditation, is your fasting. Okay. In this rest time is your manifestation, is your meditation, is your asking for healing, asking God for whatever you're trying to ask for, your prayers, your praise, your whatever you call whatever it is that you're doing. You got them bowing 5 times a day because you're a Muslim. See, but you got to understand that tomorrow is where you rest the mind and the body. And you have to be in some type of contentment and comfortability because rest ain't saying just don't do shit. Rest is saying be at peace with what you've done. Shit. Keep tapping the screen, man. I'll keep talking. You guys keep tapping the screen, I'll keep talking to you guys. All right? Rest don't just mean resting your mind and body like you won't have a vacation. Rest also means be at peace. Be at peace tomorrow. And June the 10th and 11th, this is the time to be at peace. This is the time to say, you done the work. You done did the work. You done laid the foundation. You done planted the seed. You done did all of this work. Now you need to rest. Or if you are trying to do the work, then you must understand the value of rest in the work doing. Even God rested one day out of them 7 days, teaching you about the value of rest. You get it? So now, tomorrow and the next day is going to be a time of resting the mind and the body because you've already done. You already done made you have made everything known to God. You don't put in all the beings. You done said all of the words. You done did all of the things. Now it's time for peace and rest tomorrow. Right? Peace and rest tomorrow. But the thing is where's your ass at in this? We still don't know yet. Because this ain't just for anybody to watch this thing and say, oh, he mean July the 10th tomorrow. I don't give a damn if I'm thugged out, if I'm drugged out, cracked out, smoked out, baby out, popped out, fat out, skinny out, sick out. You think that you finna get something out of this? No, hell no. Pause for a minute. No did it, no doubt. Pause. We ain't saying no anybody can do this. We're saying that everybody can know this. But it ain't everybody's day tomorrow. Anybody can know this, you guys. That's why we're making information accessible to all of you guys for a funky $50. Anybody can have access to this information, but it don't mean that tomorrow is for everybody. There's people who are ready, and there's people who are not. How do you know? Watch this. Give me a birthday. Somebody give me your birthday, please. Anybody, just give me your birthday, birth month, and birth year. I'm gonna show you the people who's gonna reap benefits of tomorrow and who ain't. It ain't everybody's day tomorrow. It ain't everybody's day tomorrow. Now I ain't gonna lie to you. Your ass gonna stop by this thing right here thinking that goddamn I'm teaching you that everybody day tomorrow. You goddamn it's some folks that's ready for the blessing and some folks that ain't. And when you ain't ready for it, it ain't your day tomorrow. See, when you don't know that tomorrow is your day, then it won't be. When you don't have confidence that tomorrow is your day, it won't be. When you don't have an assurance that tomorrow is your day, it won't be. But there's some people on this thing that already been itching and scratching that tomorrow was supposed to be a day for them. And to those people, it's going to be a motherfucking day because it's already been itching and scratching on you. It ain't for everybody. And that's why you got to get your owner's manual so you'll know when it's your day. Everybody's day ain't your day, but you got your day. You got to know it. Okay. So now, this 12/30/90. Okay. 12/30/90. Okay. 12/30/90. Your model number, okay, your model number is going to be 12 plus 30 is 42. 4 plus 2 equals 6. So out of these first two numbers right here, which is your date and month, we get 6. Now the year is 19, which is going to make this 10, which is going to make that 1, right? So 1 plus 6 is 7, right? So you are a model 7, right? And your sun signs, this is all the information you get in your owner's manual, okay? So your two sun signs. So from 12/21 to 1/21, we know that's a Capricorn, right? So you right here, right here. Now this is your starting point because that's your birthday is a Capricorn, right? So your starting point is your finish line. You must end back up right here. Whoever gave me this birthday, 12/30/90. Your whole job is to go back around the sun to get back up right here. Now let's go. You were born in 1990. That lets me know that you are approximately 35 years old or about to be, right? So you're going on 35 this year, so 34 right now, so 10, 20, 30, 4 years. You're 4 years into your area. This is a lesson for you. So for the last 4 years, and guess what? You spend 10 years each one of these. So 10, 20, 30, and you're 4 years into Aries. Okay? 4 years. So you got 6 more years to go. Each lesson is 10 years. So in your Aryan qualities for the last 4 years, you've been dealing with some self-awareness. You've been growing and developing in this. Even though you're 34, you've been growing and developing for the last 4 years since you was 30 years old. Some shit been happening to you to grow into your self-identity, your self-awareness, your self-consciousness. That's what's been dealing with you, highest priest of my bloodline. Okay? For the last 4 years. Highest priest of my bloodline. Y'all see what she said? I don't know who they he or she, but they saying yes. All right. So now, with that being said, we also know too that a Capricorn, every Capricorn on the planet Earth, has got some what? Cancerian quality. Okay. So a Capricorn is an earth, Cancer is a water, your element comes from your model number. Everything you have for your birthday, your model number is 7. So your element is going to be a earth. I'm sorry, a water element. A water. You like to be by the water. You like to be by the rivers, the lakes, the beaches, all that type of stuff. Highest priest of my bloodline, she. You like to be by the water. So you are a earth. You are a earth, water, water. Okay? Earth, water, water. So you are very emotional, but also very prone to lymphatic buildup, mucus buildup in the body. Very prone to having respiratory mucus and chest congestion. Very asthma, sinus infection. You can have just mucus coming out, dandruff and toe jam and ear, you got the eye wax, just okay, because of this water element in it. So your biggest thing is going to be watching your water intake. You got to watch your dehydration and you got to watch your hydration. Highest priest of my bloodline. And we ain't even got to the if you know high tide or low tide part yet. Okay. Another part of you is earth, which means that you also have this drying effect because earth is dry while water is wet. So we know that the fluids and your ability to balance the fluids are going to be a big, big thing for you. Now, also the side of the body that you can be looking out for. Okay, the side of the body that you can be looking out for. Watch this. Because you have an excessive in means you got deficient gain. So I'm gonna tell you to be watching out for the upper left and right side of your body, from the waist up, from the waist up. Okay, highest priest of my bloodline, from the waist up. Okay, the left and the right side of your body, from the waist up. Watch yourself. All right, now another thing that we just found out is that you just came out of your high tide, spiritual time. You're 4 years into your low tide. So you might not see something tomorrow, but you can see something on July the 24th because that's the new moon and that's the low. I'm trying to show y'all how to ride the waves. Okay? I'm trying to teach you how to ride the wave, the stock market of life, to make your stock go up, just like you making your stock go up. You understand what I'm trying to say? To make your stock go up because you was the first stock. You was the first stock. Okay? When they talk about stocks and bonds, you were the first stock and bond on the slave block. You was the first commodity. You was the natural commodity. You was the natural resource. You was the end all over all, and you still is. They just don't want you to know that you still is. So therefore, you don't understand that they will attack the mind in order to get the body. The body has always been the best commodity. You want a woman's body, you want a man's body, you want a children's body, but how you get the body is through the mind. So therefore, you make sure you control your husband's mind, your boyfriend's mind, your girlfriend's mind, your wife's mind. You make sure that you control your children's mind. Because if you control the mind, you know you got that goddamn body. The body is the most highest commodity. The body is the thing that's of value. Now, death wants your body, or either life wants your body. Which one will you choose? Will you keep giving your body over to death consciousness, or will you give your body over to life consciousness? Will you at some point begin to start to believe in the message that you're hearing every Sunday and understand everlasting life being a physical thing as well, or you're going to keep on hearing that the body is temporal? See, what you don't understand is that how can a forever God, a spirit, live in a temporal temple? You say God live in the temple. God live in my body. God is within me. Heaven is in me. Heaven is in the person. The kingdom of heaven is within you. You keep saying all that bullshit out your mouth. It sound good. But how can a forever spirit live in a temporary or temporary temple? So that means that you ain't even got your body ready yet for the most high state. Because the most high state of consciousness required the most high state of physical health. Your most highest state of consciousness will require you to be at your most highest state of physical health today. You must value the preservation of the mind. Can't keep letting it go to the wayside. In the Bible, when they the apple, the fruit, or whatever you want to call it, they got banished from the Garden of Eden. And it said that although it banished them, it said that we put a cherubim and a flaming sword in front of the gate so that they won't be able to find their way back to the tree of life. And I got to thinking of what a cherubim is, and then when you go to the etymology and you go down into the research, a cherubim by image would be a fat angel with wings, okay, a fat baby with wings. And then I got to thinking that the only fat baby with wings then if you go even deeper, the cherubim is actually a celestial meaning of Uranus, right? The planet Uranus. Uranus is the one that's in control right now because Uranus is the planet that controls Aquarius. So in the age of Aquarius, they're actually being ruled by the planet Uranus. So this cherubim that's in front of the gate of the tree of life is Uranus. It's a planet. Uranus means heaven. Uranus literally in its oldest language, Uranus means heaven. Okay, so you got heaven sitting in front of the gate, and then it said a flaming sword. Well, we know sword already always meant the word. So a flaming sword. Don't tell me nothing but that you got old hot word, old rhema word. You got old hot word for me. So now here it is that you got Uranus, a heavenly word that's going to allow you to either have access or not to the tree of life, meaning that there's something, there's a word, there's a code that you must, there's a frequency, there's a wave, there's a intelligence that you see, you got to be in, you know how when we used to be in high school and we had them little, you got to be able to know your goddamn code in your locker. There is a code. So decoding discipleship, discernment is one of the biggest attributes to discipleship. See, if you can't discern, then you can't pass discipleship, which means that you can't pass the initiation, which means that you can't pass the school of adeptness, which means that you can't pass knowing the knowledge. Because with the certain discipleship comes a certain discernment. And that discernment gonna let you know how well you can code. And if you're not a good decoder, you better take your ass back to decoder. You better take your ass back to decoder. Okay, if you know how to decode. You got to be a good decoder, which means that now we're telling you how to break in the code. That there are times of the week, times of the month, times of the year. So now, for this person right here, born and right here, that is talking about 12, 30, 90, her week is July the 24th. If you come back on here after July the 24th, highest priest of my bloodline, tell us what the hell happened that day. Let's tell her what the hell happened. It's gonna be something that's pertaining to this right here. You're in your what? I just told you that you're in what? Aries, right? So you're at this point when you talk about self-awareness, your self-appearance, your body, your first impressions, your attitude, your approach to life, your beginnings, all of that shit. You are in it right now. So next July the 24th, you're in the low tide. Something is going to creep out of this. Now, the low tide is what? Planting season. Remember that this is the work you got to do. So right now you're in planting. Okay, 3 months of planting. Next 3 months is of harvest. Okay, 3 months of planting. So that means that we're planting. There's something that you're doing, highest priest of my bloodline, where you need to be planting seeds in yourself. You need to be investing in self growth. And watch what happens July the 24th. Yo, I'm gonna give you a specific date though. We're gonna put it down. I'm gonna give you a specific date. So no, you're not in high tide. You're not in your most highest state right now. You're in your low tide state. But if you know how to capitalize on low tide every month, then you'll still capitalize on what? Because you're in your work state. So you're planting and you're harvesting. That's where you're at. Okay? You get that highest priest of my bloodline. Do you got a question before I go to the next person? Do you get that, or do you got questions before I go to the next person? And guess what, you guys? All this information is in your owner's manual for $50. You get this information, and I hadn't even gave her all the information. Okay, so don't give her all the information for free on TikTok, but it was foods that was in there. It was herbs that was in there. It was spiritual tendencies that was there. It was physical tendencies that were there. It was activities, lifestyle activities that you need to do that were there. Okay, all right. Now, if you're just looking for two types of issues, right? Because I didn't really tell you about that, so I'll give you two. All right, two types of issues. Now I'm gonna tell you another thing too. A Capricorn Cancer. Capricorn love to tear things apart, but the Cancer you love to build things and bring them together. So you got to balance that so you're not always tearing shit apart. Trust me, I got a Capricorn wife, so I know y'all love tearing shit down, but you also love putting shit together. But you got to have a balance of that. You can't always tear it down, build it up, tear it down. You got to be careful, okay? Right? I know you know it. I know that for sure. All right, now, as far as the 30th, you're in the first deacon of Capricorn. So the two things that you need to watch out for is going to be your spine and your skin. Okay, your spine and your skin. Highest priest of my bloodline. You got that? And I move on. Can I move on? Anybody got any questions? I'm gonna do a few more, you guys, but you see how now she knows that low tide. And guess what? Let me say this one more time. These are 10 years. So look, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. So for the next 60 years, you'll be in low tide. So keep hitting it on the low tide. Keep riding the low tide. Okay? For the next 60 years, you're going to be working, planting seeds, planting your ideas, your creativity, and harvesting from them. So therefore, know about the low tide because that's where you're at. Okay? Start doing your stuff on the low tide. There are prayers, there are mantras, there are meditations, there are rituals, there are all kinds of shit you do to appreciate the low tide. And this is riding the wave. Okay? You don't know it until you know it, you guys. You don't know it until you know it. And this is where you play the stock market. So what is the low tide in the stock market? You got bull and you got bear. So if bull is the high tide, while bear is the low tide, right? So you just gotta know. That's all I'm saying. I ain't gonna say too much. I ain't gonna keep saying too much. All right. So on the count of three, let's get one more person. Let's get one more person on the count of three. Three, two, one. Go ahead. I need a birthday date and year. Birthday date and year. What wave? What is for you next? What is for you next? All right. What is for you next? 9, 16, 75. Okay. So the manufacturing date is 9, 16, 75. Right. So the model number we got to put up there. All right. So for 9, 16, 75, we know that from 821 to 921 is going to be a Virgo. I get a lot of Virgo out there very health conscious. So they're going to come to the show. So Virgo, right? Virgo, you right here. Now, your main job here, Virgo, is to make it back to here around this circle, right? So you've been to 75, baby. In the next couple of months here, you're going to be 50 years old. So you are 49, right? So 10, 20, 30, 40, and 9 years, okay? So for the last 9 years, you've been dealing with some career things, right? Things going on with your job, things going on with your legacy, your last name, things going on with maybe even some stuff going on with you and your dad, you and your pops, okay? But for the last 9 years, it's been some stuff going on with your career, your legacy, some long-term goals, even you and your father, if you have had, if you know your father had, y'all been dealing with some issues for him in the last 9 years. That's got okay? But more importantly, you're in the high tide of life, the spiritual time, rest, the mind and the body time. So you tomorrow something's gonna happen with your motherfucking job. Watch me tell you. Now I don't know that it's gonna be a good thing or bad thing because it's just all about what you do with the information. But watch what I tell you tomorrow. Now on top of that, 916, you are in the third deacon of Virgo. So you want to watch out for your digestive system, okay? And you also want to watch out for your reflexes. So digestive system and reflexes. Now your model number, digestive system and reflexes now, okay? Your model number is 9 plus 16, which is 25. So that's going to be a 7. So the month and the date gave us 7. Right? And 17 plus 5 is going to give us 22. That's a 4. So 74 equals 11. Right? 11 is a actual model number. Okay? So now your two sun signs. You already know that you're a Virgo, so that's Virgo. Opposite of Virgo is a Pisces, so that's water. Your 11 is your element of 2, so that's also water. So you are a earth, water, water, just like the first individual. Okay? You are a earth, water, water, just like the first individual. You are very highly emotional as well as a man, okay? And prone to a lot of mucus and lymphatic buildup in the body. Dandruff, all that stuff that we name. Sinuses, congestion in the chest, all the mucus buildup, you are prone to it because you got double waters. Also, because you got double waters, and actually you got triple feminine energy. So that means excessive yin, right? Anytime you got excessive yin, you got deficient yang. So we're talking about the waist up, the left and right side of the body. So the waist up, the left and right side of the body, that's where you may find a lot of these problems rear their head. Okay. Another thing is you got to sit in the full moon. So tomorrow, if you can get your rest, your mind and body into your peaceful place, you will see that this is going to be a beneficial day for you tomorrow. Okay? It's something to do with your job because that's where you at. But it could be something to do with anything. I don't know if that's what you're praying for, if that's what you're focusing on, is your career. But if so, then it'll happen out of that. But it's whatever you're focusing on. It's whatever you're concentrating and focusing on. Tomorrow and the July the 11th, I want you to come back on the show. We're gonna be on every day. I ain't never scared of y'all, so I ain't gonna run from you. I ain't scared of now one of you. So I ain't gonna run from you. I ain't gonna run from if you tell me this shit did it or not, didn't do it, work or not, don't work. I love that. Remember that the major ingredient is you. You're the one that's allowing us to understand how effective this is, what it can do, and everything that it can do for our people. So I ain't gonna be bashful about you guys running through this as a test and then coming back and letting your homie HerbMan know what's going on. And plus, all of us want to know what's going on, all right? Trump silk. So you got it right there, right? So you already know. So what it was, the Virgo, the digestion and the reflex. Okay? Digestion and the reflex. Anybody else want to know where they at so they'll know how to ride that wave. So now here it is. Trump silk. So you right here, right? So you got 20 more years. 20 more years in your spiritual time in this high tide. So just keep watching the maps and keep capitalizing on high tide. Bullish. Keep capitalizing on the full moon when you're here. When you're in your high tide, and you met the earth when it was in this high tide, and now you got you being congruent with nature. Now you're riding the waves. Now you're in tune with nature. Now you're in season with nature. Now you riding the now you finally got down here. All right. Tanya Morgan, are you still on YouTube? Tanya Morgan, I got my YouTuber still in the building. Tanya Morgan, are you still in the building? I'm gonna do you. I got a YouTuber. All right. If Tanya Morgan is still in the building, we'll do her. Otherwise, moving on. Okay. If you don't understand this science, it's very hard for you to get into nature, and it's very hard for you to heal yourself. Okay. Because nature is the intervention. Okay, nature is the intervention. On my YouTube, I still got Tanya Morgan in the building. We'll keep it moving. Look like Tanya done got the hell on, so I ain't mad at you. We'll keep it moving. Okay, who else we got here? Who else we got here? All right, so on the count of three, you guys look do it like that. 3, 2, 1, go. 3, 2, 1, go. Year, month, and I need month, year, date. Nico went live 504. Nico went live 504. Yeah, you can't just put it up there. You guys got to go by the system. Right? Matter of fact, y'all keep tapping that screen. Let's get us up to 100K, you guys. We're almost at 5 o'clock here. Let's get us up to 100K. Let me get another marker while you keep tapping. I'll keep talking. I'll be right back. All right, let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it. Can you guys see? Everybody can still see? Make sure everybody can still see, man. All right. 11:25. Ooh, this man here coming in. Big, man. 11:25:86. All right. Now, first of all, I'm gonna ask you. Nico went live. Are you still here? All right. Nico went live. Are you still here? Okay. No waste of time. No waste of time. Okay. Nico said I'm still here. Okay. So Nico, 11:25:86. So from 11:21 to 12:21, we know that that's going to be a what? Sagittarius, right? From 11:21 to 12. So Sagittarius is right here by Capricorn. Okay. So now understand that your starting point, which is here, is your finish line. So when you get your owner's manual, you'll see this diagram, and you need to get back to Sagittarius around what we call the yellow brick road, the path of the sun. The sun, the path of the Son of God. However you want to call it, this is the path of the sun. So you want to get back to here, right? So now you've been at 86, baby. Let me know that you were born in what? Maybe you're about 39 years old, or you're born on 39. So let's say you're about 38, right? So let's say 20, 30, and 8 years, okay? 8 years will make you be here in Pisces. So you've been dealing with a lot of spiritual things, okay? Nico went live 504. You've been dealing with a lot of spiritual things, okay? And I'm talking about in particular in the last 8 years. I'm talking about some things that have been unknown to you. It wasn't your fault. Things that are just happening that you don't understand why the fuck they're happening. And it's because you're in Pisces. You're in this lesson of unknown. That there will be some things that happen to you that ain't got nothing to do with you, got nothing to do with what you did. But there are things that are going to happen to you because they're trying to develop your intuition. Lessons develop tools. The lesson of unknown is to develop your discernment and your spiritual powers, right? Your spirituality. This is a time of closure. Maybe some things are starting to end in this time. You had to put some closure to some stuff. You had to end some stuff. There was some healing that had to be done, some spiritual things that you were going through. All this shit happened to you in the last freaking 8 years. And you're like, what the fuck is going on? It's because you're in Pisces, bro. Because you're in Pisces. You may have been dealing with things about your belief system, your subconsciousness. You may have been dealing with solitude and isolation. Right. It's because of here. You're in the spiritual time of life, but you don't have a lot left in the high time, the high tide, right? So tomorrow some things are gonna happen for you because you're in the high tide and full moon is tomorrow, which is the high tide. Okay. And Nico went live just saying facts, bro. I don't know what he's saying facts for, but it doesn't matter. Just as long as we know that we're doing what we got to do. Now, here, I'm going to give you a few little fun facts about you real quick, Nico. Your model number, 11, 25, 36, 39. You got the 9. You got 18 plus 6, which is 24. That's going to be 6. 6 and 9 is 15. 1 plus 5 is 6. So your model number is 6. Okay? Your sun sign, we already said, was a Sagittarius. So that's a fire. Every Sagittarius has some Geminian qualities, right? So the Gemini qualities in there, right? And then you're a 6. This is an air. So you a fire air. Nico, you are one of the biggest spiritual people on the planet. I'm talking about you love downloading and you love learning and researching and just got there looking at everything. That's why your ass on my live today. This shit say astrology and health. And you like, hold on now, he talking about some stuff I need to learn. So that's you, Nico. That's always been you. But what's wrong is hair issues. So you have some autoimmune disease. You can have some immune disease. You have some respiratory issues, all because of this air element. Okay. Now, also, you got that fire element. So we also know that mental health. So being very intelligent along with being intuitive. That's unique. Intelligent along with being intuitive. But your most biggest thing is intuitiveness, but you also have this intelligence, which also comes out of Sagittarius power. Now, here's the thing. Being born in the first decan of Sagittarius, you're going to watch out for two issues. Okay. Two issues. The biggest thing about a person born in the first decan of Sagittarius is that you can be farsighted. Farsighted, Nico, means that you can see far, but not that good close up. So you are farsighted. That means that you are very good at getting long-term goals down, but you're not so good at the day-to-day tasks, right? So I want you to fix your farsightedness to make sure that not only can you do long-term goal setting, but you can also do short-term goal setting. Not only can you handle the plan, you can also handle the daily task and the daily maneuvering and multitasking of what today brings, right? And so now you'll see that my vision is not only about me physically, but spiritually as well, okay? Now, a far-sighted person ain't just somebody who can see good far, it's also somebody who can see as far as a plan is concerned. And then last but not least, your sense of smell, Nico. Your sense of smell. All right? So that's cool, Nico. You good. You good to go, Nico. I'm finna go on to the next person. You good to go? Are you good to go? You are in your spiritual time, so the full moon should be what you need to be doing until you cross over. Nico, every one of these is 10 years, right? So 10, 20, 30, and then you got 8. So you got 1 to 2 more years here before you cross over into your physical time. So you only got 1 or 2 years left until you get into low tide, and then you want to start following the low tide. And Nico went live, said, yes, sir, thank you. Yeah, no problem, no problem, no problem, no problem. Anybody else? I already see I got phone number. Gary Simpson come on here every day after I already done you 10, 15,000 times. This one come on here every day. Put your little goddamn measly ass birthday up there. Gary Simpson, talk to you every day now. Every day, put your little measly ass birthday up there. Even though you done did your own thing. Just email me, call me, and I'll walk you through your honest language. All right. Now, here we go. 10, 10, 61. So you got what? 921 to 1021 is going to be a what? A Libra. See, this is how I know I can get it. Because it's a Libra. Right? All right. We already know that your start point is your finish point. Okay. So you're going to come right here. All right. You need to get back right here. So somebody being born in 61, that's going to make you what? 63. Okay. You'll be 64 this year. So 63, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, and 3. Gary, I don't know how many times you got to see this shit. It ain't going to change. Right? I don't know how many times you got to see this Gary Simpson. Your stuff don't change. You're in the low tide. So July the 24th. Okay. Let's go on to the next. You always want to give me a birthday. I'm going to do it, but it ain't going to change. Information don't change, right? So Gary, you're in low tide, and low tide is going to be doing the new moon. Now, if you play numbers, if you want to play numbers, all that got to link up. Okay? The numbers, all that stuff got to link up. The opportunities, all that got to link up. Remember what low tide is: planting, okay? Planting season and harvest. The high tide is the flood. So this is where you got to rest the mind and the body. Okay? Libras want to know. Yeah, Libras want to know, but y'all ain't doing that. Y'all ain't doing that. Low tide is planting seeds and harvest. Yes, yes, that's how you know. That's how you know. 1990, bro, and you're a Libra as well. You still over here. 1990, you still in the high tide. So it's gonna be the full moon. Every full moon, when you're at high tide, you need to do it. But y'all need to know like how long I'm gonna be at high tide. You need to know all that stuff. I'm showing you, but you need to know that stuff. And that's what you get with your husband. All right. What we got? I like that 5577. Linda Williams. 5577. Okay. 5577. Okay. So 5 and 5 is 10. All right. So that's gonna be a 1. 17 and 7 is 24. That's gonna be a 6. A 6 and 1 is 7. That's your right. 21 what? All right. So here we are. All right. So you can see that you're in Taurus right there. Your beginning is your end. You got to end up right here. If we go through here, you need to end back up here. Ending back up there is 120 years old. That's what we're trying to get everybody to 120 years old. All right. So now that this is a Taurus, opposite of Taurus, right? Then we got the bottom 7 going to be a water element as well, right? So earth, water, water. That's what all y'all live today. Emotional, emotional, emotional. Got a lot of mucus going up in the body, a lot of sinus, a lot of chest congestion, a lot of lymphatic buildup in the bodies of those people who are done today. Right now, 577, you're 2 years older than me, so that's going to make you 48 years old. Right? 20, 40, 8, 8 years into Virgo. So for the last 8 years, you have been about your health and fitness. Okay? For the last 8 years, Linda Williams, you've been about your health and fitness, and that's why you're here. You only got 2 more years left, and then you're going to go into your spiritual time. 2 more years left until your spiritual time. So when you turn 50, that's going to be your spiritual time. That's going to be less physical energy, more spiritual energy. That's going to be resting the mind, resting the body. But in the next 2 years, that's also going to be you doing full moon. Right now, though, for the next 2 years, you'll be doing new moon. Okay? Now, also because of your 5-5 here, you're in the middle deacon. Okay, you're in the middle deacon of Taurus. All right, so if you're in the middle deacon of Taurus, you want to watch out for throat issues. Okay, throat issues. Linda Williams, your throat. Okay, throat issues, and also watch out for your reproductive health. Okay, uterus and ovaries and things of that nature, Linda. Okay, uterus, ovaries, and throat issues. Those are your two main concerns. Based off what we got here, I'll send you your own manual to get more information for that. Anybody else? How did we do, Linda? How did we do, Linda? How did we do? So now you see how it's important to understand where you at so you'll know how to ride these waves. I'm gonna leave it with a lot of mucus and chest congestion. Okay, cool. It just all depends on where you at. Libra, Sunshine 85, you gotta let us know where you at. But anybody can get it. Linda Williams said true going through it now. And the reason why you're going through it now, Linda, is because as you can see here, you're in a transition. Okay, so 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, so from 45 years old, okay? So when you turn 45, you started the transition, Linda, okay? You turn 45, so for the last 3 years, that transition has been started. Hey, Linda Williams, since 45 years old is when the transition started. That transition means that you're going to go through some major life events, okay? Transition means major life events, okay? Linda Williams just said yes indeed. Okay, so we can't make this up, you guys. I mean, the people can come in. You can go from 100 and something to 400,000 people in the live. It won't change. I can do each and every one of you guys. I won't miss. I won't be inactive. I won't miss. Okay, I will not miss. It's a guarantee. being me, 51374. Okay, 51374 being me, 51374. You're the same person. Okay, so from 421 to 521 is going to be a Taurus, right? Right. So know that your whole job is to get you back right here, around in this circle. Okay. So you're 5 years older than me, so that's gonna make you 51 years old. Okay. So 51, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 1. So you just like Linda, but you are a couple years older than her. So now you're in that thing that I'm just talking about. You're in your Libra phase. In your Libra phase, it's been about partnerships, relationships, it's been about all those things. But here's the thing. You just got over into that phase, right? You just went through transition. You're still a little bit in it because I think it's from 45 to 55, right? But at the end of the day, you're in Libra and you just started your spiritual phase of life. Less physical energy, more spiritual energy. Watch what happens to you tomorrow on the full moon. Something, regardless of what it's going to be something. Okay? It's going to be something. And what we're trying to get you to do is prepare for it, ride that wave. Therefore, you get it most out of it intentionally instead of accidentally. Okay? Guys, if you are interested in your owner's manual, okay, please DM us and we'll get you the information that you need. Right? If you're interested in the owner's manual, please DM us and we'll get you the information that you need. So we already see that this is what's next. Okay, for whoever out there that are tired of medication, that are tired of the modern medical facility, tired of the modern medical system, tired of getting the no, getting the we can't do nothing else for you, getting the hospice, getting all these different diagnoses and sentences, death sentences to your life. If you're tired, then guess what? There is an alternative, which is traditional medicine, and I am one of the first people that bring back the old ancient technology. I ain't the first one to do it. I'm just one of the first people to bring it back, which is to rediscover how to talk to nature. We talk to nature through a symbology called numbers. Okay? And those numbers give you the yin and the yang. They give you the four elements. They give you the sun's ecliptic. They give you the Bible. They give you the Quran. They give you the Torah. They give you the Kabbalah. They give you the Hindu. They give you Buddha. They give you Krishna. They give you everything that you ever wanted in the Native American medicine wheel. They give you all of the traditional Chinese medicine, Tibetan medicine. They give you the traditional African medicine, Ayurvedic. They give you the Western herbalism, Southern herbalism, whatever you want to call the dynamic in which you think you know something about. It's in here, and we ain't missing nothing. We did. That's why this is the best system on the planet. Okay, we ain't missing nothing. Okay, 221.65, Michael Z. 221.65, Michael Z. 221.61, Michael Z. The reason why I cut you off short, man, because I just did 221.65, Michael Z. 221.65. Okay. So off the rip, this person here was born on the cusp. Okay. So the cusp is gonna be what, February the 21st, right? But the good thing about us is we got all of them dates down pat. So you still a Pisces, okay? Still a Pisces. So Pisces is gonna be right here, okay? Your starting line is your finish line. You must make it back right here. You must make it 120 years old, right? So then at 65, that gives you 60 years old. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, and 60. Okay, so you're right here on the cusp going into your Virgo stage, right? Instead of me just putting on the line, I put it right there. Going to your Virgo stage where you're all about your health and fitness. So you know, just not started to get into your health and fitness. I ain't saying you just started, but at the end of the day, it's going to be very, very important for the next 10 years. Okay, so for 60 to 70 years, you're going to be about health and fitness. Whoever just sent me that, okay, you're going to be about health and fitness. Secondly, you're born in 221, which is going to be I think that's what, the last deacon or the first deacon. And that's the first deacon of Pisces. So the first deacon of Pisces, you got to watch out for. Let's go ahead and get you in the Rolodex with coordination and appetite. Okay, your coordination and your appetite. Coordination and appetite are going to be the biggest things for you. What's your model number? 2 plus 21 is 23. So that's going to be 5. So the month and the date give us 5. 16 plus 5 is 21. 3 and 5 is 8. That's a water. And the opposite of Pisces is a Virgo, so that's an earth. The number 8 right here lets me know that that's a fire. There we go. Water, earth, fire. That means that you're very brilliant, very smart. It also means that you're very, you are a person of great value. Okay, great value. A lot of things matter to you. Earth. You're also very emotional. So you have this emotional component. You have this stubbornness, this firmness to you. That's good. You also have this intellect, this intellectual capacity. That's very good. But now here's the flip side. The flip side is even, but your yang is deficient. So when you have a yang deficiency, you got to worry about the upper left side of your body. The upper left side of your body. So you may see things happening in the upper left side of your body. Okay, now if it's a fire condition, then we got herbs for that. We'll give you some water herbs. If it's an earth condition, we're gonna give you some air herbs. If it's a water condition, we'll give you some fire herbs. We know the foods as well that you need. All of that comes on this manual. For me, all right. Anybody else, anything else? Now, the biggest thing that you want to understand is that you are currently in your low tide phase, right? So July the 24th, you're going to see things happen in your life versus July the 10th, because you're in the low tide phase. Watch what I tell y'all. Some of y'all gonna have a good day tomorrow, some of y'all gonna have a bad day tomorrow. Watch what I tell you. And you ain't gonna know who's who because you don't know why. You don't know why. And the thing is that we now can know why. We now need to know why. We now must know why. If you're trying to take your health back into your own hands, if you don't get up on some kind of nature-based intervention, it won't happen for you. And for the countless of us that are dealing with mental health issues, dealing with physical health issues, dealing with cognitive health, autism, ADHD, ADD, things that are just kind of getting us out of our brain. We can't focus, we can't concentrate, we can't think properly. Nature-based interventions can work for you way better, way better, way better with less side effects than medication. I'm telling you guys this. I'm gonna say this one more time. Nature-based interventions, okay? NBI. This is what this is. The owner's manual is going to give you a nature-based intervention for your problem. This works very good for mental health, physical health, and cognitive health. Okay? Mental has been shown to be what? I think what 83%? No, I'm sorry, 93. 93% on the uh, on the mental, 83 on the physical, and 75 on the cognitive. It works. These are high ass numbers. When you're talking about effectiveness, this is pretty high. 93 on the mental, 83 on the physical, 75 on the cognitive. Nature-based interventions. This is what the owner's manual is. Facts. You can go and Google this. They already did the scientific studies. We're gonna get back by this. We're back. All right, we're back by popular demand. We are back. Right? So you do your own research. That shit right there is gonna stand out to you like a sore thumb. But the way we do it is to know which nature you need. I need to know which nature you need. You know what I'm saying? I need to know what timing you need it. I need to know what your low tide and high tide is. I need to know if it's water that you need. I need to know if it's sunlight that you need more. I need to know if it's that. Why should I go off of you when you don't know this shit? No. So that's why I ain't gonna go off of your self-diagnosis. I don't go off of doctor's diagnosis. I don't need your blood type. I don't need your blood sample. I don't need your hair sample. I don't need your saliva sample, your stool sample. I don't need your urine sample. I don't need to poke you or prod you or prick you. I don't need to stick you. I don't need to do anything. Right? This is non-invasive, non-intrusive. All we simply need is birth, and we let nature do the rest. Nature whisper. Huh? All we need is your funky birthday. And we let nature do the rest, baby. This is ancient stuff right right in your front of your face. You can't believe it yourself. Y'all can't believe it yourself, but it ain't nothing you can do. Enoch 300 3489. Okay? 3489, my brother, is right here. 3489. I like those y'all young bucks because you ain't went nowhere in time and space. Okay? You're still in the same boat for the most part because it takes 60 years to get out of the time, right? 60 years, 120 years. You spend 60 years in your physical, 60 years in your spiritual, 60 years in your feminine, 60 years in your masculine. Okay? It's a half and half, right? So 3489, that means 221 to 321 is gonna make you what? Pisces. We just said a while ago, right? 221 to 321 is gonna make this person Pisces. There you go. You gotta get back to right there. Your starting point is your finish line, all right? You were born in 89, so you are, I don't know what, 36? So you're 36 years old, right? So 10, 20, 30, 6, okay? So you got brothers and sisters. There's something going on with the communication between you and your siblings, okay? But you're in that intellectual phase of life. You need to grow your own self intellect. So that's what you're at. You're planting seeds about how you want to communicate. Even though it may seem like you're 30 some years old and that should be already established, that is actually your learning curve. That's what you're learning and you're developing and growing that now as you move forward. All right. Now being 3489, you're born in the middle deacon of Pisces. Okay. So you want to watch out for your nerves. Okay. Nerves, especially in your feet and your stomach. The nerves, especially in your feet and your stomach, you want to watch out for. Now, the model number that you are is 3 and 4 equals 7. Okay, so for the month and the date, we get 7. 18 plus 9 will give you what? 18 plus 9 will give you what? What's that, 27? 18 plus 9 give you 27, so that's 9, right? So you got 9 and 7, that's 16. 6 and 1 is 7. All right? And the Pisces, that's a water sign. The opposite of a Pisces is a Virgo, that's your earth. 7 is also represented with water, military gland. So you are again water, water, earth, very highly emotional, also very firm on things for the value system. There are a lot of mucus build up in the body. You want to watch out for your mucus build up, et cetera, et cetera. You get all the more information. You are currently in the low tide, right? So the new moon. Follow the moon cycles and go for the new moon because you're going to be here for a long time. Right? You just got here, got another 30 some years left in the low tide. So the new moon should be the moon you should follow. Okay? The new moon should be the moon that you can follow. Somebody said, that's my husband's birthday, but there you go. The new moon. So now that you know the moon, you know the tide. You know the tide, you know the wind. You know how to ride a low tide, then you're good. A low tide recedes, right? It recedes. It pulls back. It exposes, right? Yahweh, mind over matter. Yes, sir, man. We doing a no man's job, bro. That's what we're trying to do. That's what we're trying to do. Anybody else, man? We got about 30 more minutes. We got about 30 more minutes. Anybody else got any questions so far? Let me answer a few questions if you got them. If you guys want to come up on the live, you can. We're coming live from South Africa. We have power outages, all kind of stuff here. So excuse me if I can't come on here every day like I used to, but we'll try to come on here every day from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's when the sun is in Gemini in the northern hemisphere, and then we're going to be here in the southern hemisphere giving you that hot banger boogie all day. Can you do my husband's birthday? Yes. If you do the owner's manual, we'll do it for a funky measly $50. He'll get everything he needs. Ain't no need in half stepping on your love. Okay? Ain't no need in half stepping on your love. How can I find the equation you're using? You can't. Tell a lot of truth. I'm the only one using it. Okay? And I don't even mean that to be no kind of way. You can't go and try to research this. I'm the first person revealing this way. You can go to Santos Bonacci and he'll show you the Earth's ecliptic. You can go to all these other people that'll show you medical astrology. You can go to, but they won't, nobody is doing it like me. There's nobody out there. So I'm the only one that you have to just watch and listen to keep my way now. This is my way. It's the way that nature gave me. Now it's all good. I know people be wanting to know where you got this information from, but some stuff you are the progenitor of. Some stuff starts with you. Everybody ain't regurgitating up everybody's information. You know what I'm saying? Everybody ain't, you know what I'm saying? There's some folk out here who the first at some shit. I just so happen to be one. I appreciate that. That's for allowing us to do this. So how can we get them? Yes, if you want to get the owner's manual, you just DM me and I'll get you the information that you need for that. If you're out of the country, so this thing goes worldwide. We are in South Africa. So if you're in South Africa, Africa, in Europe, in UK, wherever you are on the planet, you can get an owner's manual in your language for you to be able to understand and know. You can also contact us. You can save the contact, download WhatsApp. You can walk you through the manual as well. But this is for everybody. Yeah, Santos, yeah, love Santos, yeah. Santos Bonacci, love it, yeah. He's a synchronistic just like me. You have to be that type of thinker in order to really encapsulate all of this information and misinformation because some of this information is just solely put out there to derail you. It ain't even hitting on shit but to get you off track. And what I'm saying is that to get a human person off of timing of nature is something that you guys are not looking at. But as soon as you come into the paradigm, they get you out of tune with nature. Your mama don't do it and don't know it. Your daddy them is doing it to you, and but they don't know they're doing it. Your grandmama them doing it to you, they don't know they're doing it. The teacher is doing it. The system itself is designed to get the human out of tune with nature. Remember what I told you guys. Now I'm on YouTube. I'm finna show another picture right here. So if you're on YouTube, just give me a little spot. All I'm doing is just showing them the evolution of us and you know, and what we came from, right? So this picture, I think I showed it the other day. Okay, but that's us right there, evolution, right? So you seen we come from hunter gatherer to farming to using the animals, okay, to really being able to do some mass production, all right, to do it with all these. But the thing about what I'm trying to say is it was the relationship between man and nature. That relationship between man and nature has always been the epitome of why we're here. If you look at again the punishment of Adam and Eve, if you believe that story, it's not just that they got banished from the thing and they can't eat from the tree of life. And I always tell you that the first punishment was to harm their health, right? So now they can't live for forever. But I also look at tilling the ground, right? Being laborious and maintenance of a child, right? These things were not just symbiotic to human beings, they were also symbiotic to spiritual things. So not only was the woman going to be chastised or be laborious in childbirth physically, but also be laborious in childbirth creatively. And you'll see that that's what's missing in our particular thing now is the creativeness coming from the feminine energy, not the female, not the woman itself, the feminine energy that's within a man and a woman, that creative energy has dwindled. it's very difficult for you to come up with a new motherfucking idea because everything been done. But God chooses people. Like I was saying, like me, this is brand new. Who would have thought? This ain't Dr. Laila Africa didn't do this. Dr. Paul Goss didn't do this. Dr. Ben didn't do this. Dr. Satima didn't do this. Francis Chris Wilson didn't do this. John Clark didn't do this. Chancellor Williams didn't do this. You see? So sometimes you'll be chosen to be the one to bring something that is one of a kind. Don't mean that it's new. That means that it's the new you. It's the thing that God put on your spirit. Okay? So we can be doing this stuff. What is it representing? Your health. This is representing your health and your wealth. And when you realize where you're at in this particular, this is a GPS system. So for all you guys that just tuned in, this is a GPS. So once you know where you at, you'll know what to do. Okay? So we're talking about your health. All right? Say TDJs didn't do this. I mean, I ain't definitely none of the pastors. Okay? Definitely none of the pastors, all right? But the bottom line is that, man, this is the most fruitful information I can give you as a person that's not only your neighbor, a fellow citizen, but also as an entrepreneur, as a businessman. You know, if anybody tell me about business, I always say, wait until you are one of a kind. I don't know how to explain it, but wait until you one of a kind. That one of a kind may mean you 5 years old and you can do some shit. That one of a kind may mean you 75. You know, that one of a kind may meet you when you 35, when you 15. But wait until you one of a kind. Then you'll know. Okay? Then you'll know. Y'all too fast trying to get to this bread. You're too fast trying to get to some kind of notoriety and some kind of popularity that you're moving off the ranch a little too soon. And you ain't one of a kind. So you're trying to be like LeBron. Come on, man. You know how many motherfuckers sitting at home trying to be like LeBron? Be like you. The first you. The first you. I'm gonna be the first one. The people who gonna be the first them, I'll be a famous motherfucker. Don't be scared of you. Stop trying to be like Jesus. Be the first Lawrence Tillman. And let them folks say you be like Jesus. But you would just try to be the first Lawrence Tillman. Say you lie. Jesus already been here and done. Be the first you. First you. Wait until you're one of a kind, then you're ready. Then you'll know. That's it. That's it. That's it. That's it. Anybody else? Anybody got any questions thus far? We are 22 minutes away from 6 o'clock. You guys were 22 minutes away from 6. It is getting dark here in South Africa, so I know y'all starting to see how the light changing and everything about that, man. But this is by far the best thing. Oh, money can buy. It's the best thing that mama could birth an individual to be able to boast in their spirit and birth to have. It's the best idea, it's the best function, it's the best understanding, it's the best remedy, the best way forward, it's the best thing to teach from biblically, it's the best spiritual essence of understanding, it's the best thing to get your herbs and your foods from, it's the best dietary, nutrition, it's the best. And it ain't because I did it, it's because it's simply the best. It just simply is what it is. All right. I got some people on YouTube right here. In Too Deep. John Newell, you still in the building? In Too Deep. John Newell, are you still in the building? In Too Deep. John Newell, are you guys still in the building on YouTube? Again, you guys will come on every day between 10 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And look, I got some birthdays down here. I don't want to miss my YouTube audience because we're definitely trying to grow that audience because TikTok be tripping sometimes. And if America gonna get in it, then we definitely know There's gonna be some tripping. All right. So John Newell, I got an into deep right here with 212.87. Okay, 212.87. All right. So again, there's another Pisces, right? So from 121, I'm sorry, from 121 to 221 is an Aquarius. All right. So this is Aquarius, 121 to 221. All right. So Aquarius, your job in 2D is to make it back here, right? Okay, to make it back right here. You're currently being 38 years old. 38 years old, you're currently 10, 20, 30, 10, 20, 30, and 8 years into your Taurian phase. Okay? So you're 8 years into your Taurian phase, which means you're 8 years into your personal possessions, your personal finances, right? Your personal finances, your personal possessions. That's currently where your life is at. You're also in the planting season. So this is going to be growing and developing for you. Okay, this is going to be growing and developing for you into deep. Okay, so that's a good thing because you're in planting season of that particular phase. Also in the physical time, which is the low tide. So low tide means will be new moon. So every new moon, you start playing your game. Now look at this. You're gonna have 40 more years in low tide. So you're gonna beat up. Learn how to ride the waves of the low tide. Then after the 40 years, once you get your owner's manual, because obviously we won't know when you cross over unless you got your owner's manual, so you can track yourself year after year, 10 years at a time, you'll be able to track yourself. That's why I'm imploring you guys to go and get this little owner's manual for your little funky measly $50 because you can just ride this wave on out there. You can use this system to ride your life on out. If you got wealth, low tide, that's the fact. If you got situations that you're trying to look about, go in to start looking at meditations and manifestations and rituals concerning the low tide. It's the planting and the harvest season. Right now, you're in the planting season. Plant well, then you'll harvest well, and then you'll understand what I'm talking about. But this is the low tide, the physical side, the work that needs to be done. You do the work, and you'll be good. Now, the fact that you're in the third deacon of Aquarius, okay? You're in the third deacon of Aquarius. So then you want to watch out for physically movements, okay? Your movement and your circulation, okay? Your movements and your circulation into the your movement and your circulation. You want to watch out for. All right, your model number 2 and 12 is 14, 1 plus 4 is 5. All right, so that's the month and the date. Already taken care of with 5. 18 and 7 is 25. That's going to be 7. 7 and 5 is 12. Okay, so that's 3. Right? I already know that you're an Aquarius, so that's an air sign. Every Aquarius has to be your part. That's a fire. 3 is also going to make fire. Right? So you're air, fire into deep, which means that you're very smart, very intellectual. It also means you can be a little bit of an overthinker. Also, because if you don't balance that overthinking with your intellectual prowess, your intelligence, if you don't counterbalance that with resting the mind as well as the body, then guess what? You're gonna have some digestive issues. Okay, you're gonna have some digestive issues. You also have some nervous system issues. Also, because you're an air sign, you have some immune issues, so respiratory issues that you want to be facilitating. But the biggest thing is going to be this fire. Now, the fact that it's air, fire, fireless, you know that you are excessive when it comes to your yang, right? Excessive yang energy, which means that you're deficient yin. So that's going to mean your lower left and right body parts. So anything from the waist down, left and right, into the say, yes, I be having numbing in my hand. Yeah, yeah, it's the nervous condition, it's the fire. Okay, it's the fire. And what I'm banking on right here is that it's self-control. Okay, it's self-control issues that can lead to high blood sugar. So watch your sugar level into the 3. Self-control issues that can lead to digestive and also high blood sugar issues. And so if you're already dealing with that numbing in the hands, you're probably already dealing with the blood sugar problem into the. So be careful with that. That is a tendency you have to balance, okay, as you go through. The biggest thing out of this lesson, though, is ride that low tide wave, right? And to said yes, I want to appreciate you in too deep for joining us here on the live today. Lesson to be well. Shika. We're teaching you how to be healthy, be happy, and how to be whole. Okay? And then we're also teaching us next do that. You got to learn how to ride the wave. Okay? This is a wave. This is a sound wave. This is a frequency. This is an electromagnetic wave. This is a air wave. This is everything. Okay? This is the wave. We call it the ecliptic of the sun. All right. Anybody else, man? We got about 15 more minutes left. If there's no other questions, no other concerns, I want to thank all of my YouTubers, thank all of my TikTokers, man, for getting us over 100K today. There's nothing to do about it. If you guys need more information, if you're interested in the owner's manual, please DM us and we'll get you the information that you need. All right. Anybody else? What we got? What we got? Keisha, 42468. 42468. I just said that 421 to 521 was a Taurus. So we've been going over Taurus and some of the same people. I know that when y'all hear one, you want to get yours, right? But I don't want to do the same old people. I know how it is. Y'all hear Taurus and you want to do Taurus. But I need different people. I'm not gonna keep doing the same old people. Okay? I'm not gonna be doing the same old people. You got 71769. 71769. I don't know if I did that one before. The 71769 is going to be 621. That's a cancer. Okay? That's a cancer. Let me just put it up here real quick. All right, 71769. All right, let's do this real quick because that's a new one here. I like new stuff. I know when I say one Leo, another Leo gonna ask, but you can't keep doing Leos out there. All right, so 71769. Right, that's 621. 721. Just gonna make that cancer. All right. So the whole job is to make it back here. That's 120 years old. That's what we're trying to do. Make it to 120 years old. All right. 69 that you are going to be 10 years older than you. That would make you what, 56 years old. All right, but you're not quite there yet because it makes July 17th. So you're 55. So 10, 40, 50, and 5. You're 5 years into Sagittarius. So for the last 5 years, there's been some moving around. Okay. For the last 5 years, there's been some thought moving around. There's been some custom moving around. Things been moving around. All right. That's what that means. All right. Now, at 17, that's going to make you be the third deacon of Sagittarius. So the third deacon of, I'm sorry, the third deacon of Cancer. The third deacon of Cancer, you have to watch out for. Um, Third deacon of Cancer, watch out for your sense of touch and your joints. Okay, your joints and your sense of touch. Your joints and your sense of touch. Now, at the end of the day, you're in your high tide. You're in your most highest state. So full moons for you here on out are going to be what you need. 10, 20, 30, at least for the next 30 years. You'll be in your high tide. The only way you know you come out of this tide to go to another one is you must get your owner's manual. I ain't going to be doing this 30 years from now on motherfucking TikTok. So how would you know when you transition from low tide to high tide? Your owner's manual. How would you know when you transition from low tide to high tide? Your owner's manual. I'm not going to be doing TikTok 30 years from now. So if you don't got your honest manual, you shit out of luck and you don't know. I ain't even gonna be doing these videos for a year from now. So then how would you know? Get your owner's manual, you guys. God damn, stop buying all of this bullshit. You don't know what you need until you get your owner's manual. You don't know what medication you need until you get your owner's manual. You don't know what herbs you need until you get your owner's manual. You don't know what things you need to do mentally or psychology or therapy, go to a therapist or whatever. You don't know what you need to work on at the church, going to your pastor. They don't know you. Get your owner's manual and then take your butt to church and work on those spiritual things that your owner's manual told you about. Get your owner's manual and take your butt to the therapist or psychologist and work on those cognitive things of mental health that the owner's manuals tell you about. You don't need to pay no dietitian, no nutrition, or no trainer. Get your owner's manual and then take your butt to the grocery store and shop from the foods on your owner's manual. Stop buying stuff until you buy your owner's manual, and then you'll know what to buy. Out of your ignorance, you're creating industry. Right? So that's what we're saying. We're saying, hold your horses, stop right quick. Hold up. You'll be buying my high blood pressure teas for the rest of your life. You'll be buying my high blood pressure teas for the rest of your life. You'll be buying my this and my that for the rest of your life. I don't want for you to be treating your symptoms. I want you to heal them. And the only way I know to do that is to teach you how to fish, which means to teach you how to heal yourself. Yourself. The owner's manual will be good for you. Mama, when you get your owner's manual, you can't do that shit for your children. It's for you. That owner's manual you bought was for you, mama. And the owner's manual you bought for dad, it was for him. You can't go and both y'all owner's manual and go try to treat the kids. They need their own. Every car got their own owner's manual. Every TV got its own owner's manual. Every year, every make, every model comes out with a different owner's manual, and people are the same difference. Every year, every make, every model makes you more intricate, more different than the next model of the species of human being. So just because you're a white woman, don't make you just like every woman. And just because you're a white man, don't make you like every man. And just because you're a black man, don't make you like every black man. You are special and specified and specific in your own right. And the only person that knows your specifications is Mama Nature. I love you guys, man. There's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Please go tell somebody. To go tell somebody about your homie HerbMan. I love you guys. Until next time. Love HerbMan. All right. So if you guys are interested, y'all know how to DM me. You know how to get in contact with me. If the lights don't go off, we'll be back here tomorrow. Same back time, same back channel, 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, live from South Africa. Until next time. Yes, sir. You too. Until next time, we love you. Peace.